Hello, and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. On this show, I help members of the public get the very best price for their antiques and valuables. They sit down with one of our regular dealers. They're going to try and tempt you with a cash offer on the table today.
£250.
Still nowhere near.
Nowhere near?
Nowhere near.
I don't think it's a bad offer.
If I don't think that's enough money, there's an alternative. We can place the same goods into an auction. It's a bit of a gamble, but it can pay dividends and we can get a little bit more money there.
Sold then at £90.
I'll be on hand at all times to help and advise. Today the show comes to you from Royal Leamington Spa. There's a good crowd of people here. They are eager to start. You can feel the vibe in the air. You know what they want? They want to walk away with the real deal.
It's a beautiful day here in Leamington Spa, and our dealers are ready to do business with the locals. Our first deal is brewing. Let's kick off today's proceedings with Jan Key.
Alistair, you bought me in a hot water jug, and would you like to tell me a little bit about its background?
Well, we've had this in the family. It's been handed down from my mother and my father, and it was used, actual fact, as a teapot.
What I'm curious about is, did you never have the actual teapot with it and the sugar and the milk, because it would have been part of a set?
Yes, unfortunately, when this was passed down, it was all split up with the family.
That's what I thought. Somebody got the teapot, somebody got the sugar and the milk.
That's what's happened, yes. That's what's happened.
And you got the hot water, which was very handy because it did double up as a teapot as well.
Yes, yes.
But I think it's a very nice example. It's actually Adam's style, I think.
Yes.
You've got a nice clear mark here for Birmingham.
Yes.
I believe it's 1896. You've got this nice, elegant ebony handle with the scroll top and the matching little knop on the top.
Yes.
So it's lovely and it's quite weighty. I believe it's about 581 grams, something like that.
Yes.
And obviously, so one can work out, sadly, scrap-wise, what it would be worth. I mean, it is a bit of a shame, but it has got that indentation there, which would have to be taken out. And sadly, people don't really use them anymore because people can't be bothered to clean them.
That's the thing.
But they do make a great cuppa.
They do make a much better cup.
So now I suppose my next move is to put some money down.
Absolutely.
Basing it on its scrap value, I'm going to put down 100, 150, 200, taking into consideration what I think the handle and the knot weighs. And I know what the scenario this is going to be. Someone's going to come along with their weighing machine, weigh it, and that's how it will end up, whether we want it to or not.
If it was desirable, and I say if because it isn't at the moment, to repair that might cost 100 quid.
Right.
It scraps at about 220. There is a small amount in the scrap value.
Yeah.
This must sound horrendous to you.
Yeah.
Family piece, treasure, put down through the family. The answer is don't sell it.
Yeah.
My advice is take it home or close your eyes and take the £200.
So there we have it from David Alistair, the sad truth.
The sad truth. Right, well, I'm going to do a deal.
Thank you very much, Alistair.
Thank you very much,
All the
Jan.
best.
Thank you.
Well done, Alistair. Now, I spy with my little eye a deal going down with David Ford.
So do you have a nautical background?
No, I don't, no.
So how did this rather nice little telescope come into your life?
At the beginning of last year, my mum died. So we're emptying the house out, and up in the loft there's a box of brass, and within that box of brass was that.
It's quite a nice looking telescope. It's nice because it's got a mahogany case. Sometimes these are leather.
Yep.
Having a quick look round, I don't see any maker's mark on it, which is nice if it's got a nice London manufacturer or something on it, but it's attractive. That would have had a dust cover originally over the top, as I think you're probably aware. There's a little thing here that just hides that lens, a little flicker, and it opens up and it's, look at that. So it's I suppose it's what you call a 4-draw telescope rather than a smaller one, but it all looks in nice condition. I suppose it dates probably 1880, something like that, 1870 and 1880, a bit of age. Difficult to date accurately because these things have been made in this style almost up to the current time. Well, let's see if I can buy it from you. You got some idea what you want?
Oh, yes, please.
More than I want to give
yes.
you?
Oh, yes.
£20, £40, £50. I'll tell you a little story, actually. My eldest stepson is Flag Lieutenant to the First Sea Lord.
Oh, right.
And a couple of weeks ago, I bought quite a nice telescope and gave it to him. I think this one's nicer.
Yeah.
But I've given him the other one now, so that would have been its final resting place as a present to him. £50 on the table. How do you feel about that, Steve? Good offer?
It is, but a little bit more.
You think a little bit more?
No, I think a little bit more.
I tell you, I quite like it. It's quite a nice one. £60. Now that's a good offer, isn't it?
Yes. Now we have a deal.
We have a deal?
Yeah, we have a deal.
You're going to shake my hand?
Yes, I will do.
All right, Steve, that's great.
Thank you very
much.
That's one happy customer. David's on the lookout for a telescope buyer. So, will he sell it on for a profit? Find out later. Keen Carbooter Terry has popped in to see Debbie Serple, along with one of his amazing finds.
Tell me the story about your little vase.
Well, it's about 3 months ago. I went to the car boot sale and I seen the vase in the stall and I just liked it and I bought it.
So I'm guessing you didn't pay a huge amount of money for it.
Well, that's for me to know, isn't it? I'm not saying.
That's fair enough. You're keeping quiet about that.
Yeah.
It is a very, very decorative piece of cloisonné.
Yes.
It's probably about 1900, and I think a lot of people don't realise the amount of work that goes into cloisonné, which is where they make barriers with metal, very fine barriers, and they flood those areas with enamel.
Yes.
And it goes into a kiln just like a pot would do so with its glaze.
Yeah.
And the reason the colours don't flood amongst each other are because of these barriers of little fine bits of metal. And they are very apparent, particularly in the area of damage.
Yeah.
And that's what kills this piece for me. Were you aware when you bought it that it was damaged?
No, I only discovered when I got home.
Okay. In this area here, it's obviously been bashed. And just like glass, it will fracture because it's a similar substance.
Yes.
On this shoulder, there's a big chunk missing as well.
Yes.
So it's been hit at least twice and shattered. Now, at the moment, Oriental works of art are extremely sought after, but one of the things that people require is perfection, and this is really going to be a very tricky thing to get restored. So I will make you an offer, but my offer will be low because of the condition. So 50, and I'm guessing that's more than you paid for it at the car boot.
I'm not saying.
You're keeping stum. 70.
I think it's worth a bit more than that.
£80. How do you feel about that?
No.
There's a very definite no. Here's David to give us some advice.
Right, now, our independent valuers are saying £250 to £300 at the moment. £80 is not a lot, but I'm going to say the first profit is the best profit. Are you prepared to give any more money?
My enormous reluctance is the damage.
Now, I know what this cost you, and I'm going to say it still shows you a reasonable profit. But if you want to gamble and go to the auction, it may bring a little bit more. It has quality, and it's a fashionable item.
The auctioneer has valued it at far greater than the amount of money on the table. So what's your feeling at the moment?
Well, I think for something of that quality, I think it should be a bit more than that, really, for £80.
Okay, so you're looking at taking it to auction?
Yeah, I think that would be best.
How much did you pay for it?
It's £1.
A pound?
A pound, yeah.
Congratulations. And
thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you. She's offered me £80, but I think I want to take it to auction because I think I could get more money, to be honest.
It's a brave decision, Terry, but how confident is our auctioneer?
At £80, I think it's definitely worth the gamble, or even with the damage, I think it's, let's go for it.
45.
Richard Winterton is warming up his gavel. Let's see how the vase fares in the sale room.
Now, Terry, you were just saying you lost a tooth this morning.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
OK, don't worry about it. Oh, we don't care, do we? Don't mind. We're sympathetic. Now, you brought along a 20th century Japanese Cloisonne bottle vase with a fair bit of damage to it. Where did it come from?
Car boot sale.
What did you pay for it?
£1.
A pound? Cheap as chips?
Yeah.
Very cheap. Is it going to sell? You turned down an offer of £80 from our dealer, Debbie.
Yeah.
Did you do the right thing? You could have had a £79 profit.
Yeah. But I thought it was worth more than that.
OK. The reserve is 200 quid. Is it going to make its 200 quid? Or has Terry been over-optimistic? Let's find out.
Moving now to lot 460. The Japanese Cloisonne bottle vase. We're in at 100. £100 I'm bid. 100. Telephone is up. 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 190.
They're bidding in the room.
190. 190. At 190. At 190. And bid 200.
200. Hey, he's right, isn't he?
Yeah.
The tooth came out, he put it under the pillow, he made a wish like that, so it would make £200.
£200.
And he got his wish. £200 under the gavel. Take away the commission, that leaves a net figure of 170 quid for something that you paid a single pound for.
Yeah.
What have you got to say?
I feel great. Really pleased.
Real deal, 170 quid. Amazing.
Coming up, some serious cash counting over with David Ford.
Have an idea how much you want for it?
I've got a rough idea.
So you'll stop me if I pay you too much, will you?
Is honesty the best policy, Mandy?
No.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from Royal Leamington Spa.
Back to business. Time to trot over and pay our first visit to David Halkman.
Well, Ken, tell me what you brought in here today.
Mounted police saddlebags.
Very unusual lot. I didn't know what they were when I saw them on the table.
Now, a few people have been inquiring about them.
Fantastic colour, the leather, isn't it? And they've got a metal liner
in, yeah, to keep the shape of the leather.
Yes. Of course, you can see they're old, about from the backs here, look, all hand-stitched. This would have slipped through there. So where did you get them from, Ken?
Well, I've collected bits and pieces over the years, military-wise, you know.
Have you?
Yeah, and these come along with other parts of the horse furniture, you know.
Yes.
And of course, I was in the cavalry anyway.
Were you?
So it's all added up, you know.
That's why you've got this marvellous shade on here.
Yeah.
You've got the old wax out here. And,
that's right.
The next thing is, how much are these worth, Ken?
Well, I'm not sure, to be honest, you know.
Shall I get the money out then and see if I can...
you can do that, yeah, do that, yeah.
What about a 50?
I think they're worth more than that, and I think you know they're worth more than that.
Don't, honestly, Ken.
Yeah.
I've never bought a pair of these before. I think they're absolutely marvellous, I will say. I don't know what I'd do with them if I
mean,
bought
the
them.
quality's there, you know.
Am I anywhere near here then, 50?
I don't think so, no.
70?
Not at all.
90? See, look, I'm going up all the time. Look, Ken.
Yeah.
90 quid? 100 quid, that's what I want to give for them.
Is that you finished, is it?
I think it is, Ken.
Another tenner?
I don't think I'd want to give another tenner. They're not really my sort of thing, but I thought that was
I suppose not. They're a sort of a specialist thing, really. But I'll accept you. I'll accept your deal anyway.
Thank you, Ken.
Okay.
I'll give you a ring if I can't sell them. You can buy them back.
Okay, fine. That's okay.
Will David have to make that call, or will he find a customer for the saddlebags? Find out later. From one David to the next, Mr. Ford sat down with Mandy.
Selling the family jewels?
Sort of, yeah.
So why have you decided to sell this, what looks like a very pretty little ring?
My mother left me a few rings.
All right.
When she died, and I never ever wear any of them.
You don't?
No. So I thought I'd come down and see what the
See if
value
you could
was.
sell it. Yes, okay. Let's just pop it out of there and have a look. They look like quite nice little stones, old cut. Do you know how old it is? Because I don't think it's terribly old.
Probably the 70s.
Yeah,
that,
that would fit in, 60s, 70s. They're old cut stones rather than brilliants. And they've got, looking at it, a few little inclusions, little bits of marking inside them. But it's nice. Do you have an idea how much you want for it?
I've got a rough idea.
Good. Okay, well, that's a help. So you'll stop me if I pay you too much, will you?
No.
Well, let's see. 100, 150, 170, 190, 210, 230, 250. Can you stop me?
No.
270, 90, 310, 330, 350, 350, 450. You're getting excited?
Yes.
470, 490. It's £500.
It's very good, isn't it?
Do you like that?
I do.
Are we going to do a deal? Or you can go to auction?
So you're not going to offer me any more?
I mean, would 520 do it?
Probably not, no.
I like it. It's a pretty little ring. But I don't want to overpay, on the other hand.
It's a good offer, but I was looking for a little bit more.
540.
I think I'll still go to auction with it.
I mean, another tenner wouldn't swing it, would it?
No.
Shall I put it down? Just to show you. 550. I'm showing willing.
I know, it's really a good offer.
Can't help you.
No, I know.
Do you want to ring a friend?
Phone a friend, no.
I really have stopped.
Yeah.
So it's 550 or go to auction is your decision.
No, I'll go to auction.
Hard decision, I can see that. I hope you do well. I hope it does make that bit extra for you.
Thank you.
And after commission, you end up with a bit more money.
OK, thank you. Well, I thought it went really well. The offer was really good, but I just wanted that little bit more. I wanted £600 for it. Hopefully it'll sell, fingers crossed.
It's a close call and a bold move, Mandy. David's offer just didn't dazzle. Her sights are set on clearing that £600.
Now, Mandy, on the dealer's day, you brought along a rather nice ring. 18-carat gold, 4-stone rose-cut, old-cut diamonds in it. Now, David was very interested in the ring. He actually offered you £550. I thought that was not a bad price, but you turned that down.
Yeah.
Why did you turn that down?
Just thought it was worth a little bit more. If he'd offered me a little bit more, I would have taken it.
OK.
Yeah.
Well, the question is, are the buyers going to be here? And remember, there is the commission to deduct as well. There's a reserve of 600 quid. We're gambling. It's coming up now. Is it going to make it?
The 18-carat gold ladies, 4-stone claw set there, diamond ring. Bid starts at 300. 300 I bid. 300, 320. 320, 340.
Creeping.
360.
360.
360, 380. 380.
We need to get to 600.
420, 420, 440. 440, 460. 460, 480. 480, 480 now. 500 with me at 5. 510. 510 bid. 520. 520, 530. 530, 540. 540. 550 with me. 550. Rooms you're out now at 500.
Would you accept 550?
With me at 550. David was slowing at 550. I have a bid at 550. Sell it. 550 with me. Sold then at 550.
So the gambler's gone down at £550. That's exactly what you were offered by David Ford, but we've got commission to take off here. You're going home with just under 470 quid. So you took the gamble. Didn't quite come off, but at least you gave it a go. Are you satisfied?
I'm pleased.
OK.
Thank you.
Take a gamble. Sometimes it's worth the effort. Sometimes it pays off. Sometimes it doesn't. Real deal was with David Ford. Cash on the table, 550 quid. Dave, that was the real deal, mate.
It's back to the dealer's den where our next deal is heaven sent.
Hello, Anne.
Hello.
I'm Jan, and I can see that you brought in this quite magnificent perfume bottle. Would you like to tell me a little bit about its history?
I don't know an awful lot about it. I think it's 19th century, but we've had it for between 10 and 15 years. And I'm just trying to get rid of bits and pieces that I've got at the moment.
It's a beautifully cut bottle. Lovely panels, alternating panels, all bright cut glass, and actually there's not a nick on it, which is unusual. Then underneath we have this lovely star and a nice chase silver top. I can just about make out the hallmark, which is Birmingham. The anchor's a bit faded, been a bit vigorously rubbed. It's pretty enough, and when we open the lid here, we can see we've got the original stopper, which fits very nicely, and there doesn't appear to be any damage. As I say, the only thing is that the mark is slightly rubbed. I suppose the next step is for me to put some money down and see if we can strike a deal. 20, 40, £50.
That again, that's what I was looking to go for.
You're looking for £100. I think I would have been delighted to have given that had the marks not been rubbed, but I feel that when the marks are rubbed, any collector coming along, that is the first thing they look for, nice, clear marks, and it does make an enormous difference. But I would like to have a go at buying it. So if I take the 10 away, and supposing I put down another 20 to make it £60.
No, I did 180, really. Because I paid about 120 for it then.
Did you? Yes. Supposing I put that other 10 back and say we strike a deal at £70, what do you say about that meeting in the middle?
I did 180. I really did. I just got my heart set on 80 for it.
And a lady with a heart set, I know, is very difficult to change her mind. Supposing I put down 75.
You wouldn't be prepared to go the other 5.
So if I take that 5 away and put 10 down to make it 80, we have a handshake.
Definitely.
Final offer, £80.
I'm happy with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anne. Thank you.
And it's that extra fiver that seals the deal. Well done, Anne. Coming up, Debbie struggles to contain her emotions.
It's beautiful. It's lovely. I shouldn't get so enthusiastic about these things. I should play it cool.
So just how much will Debbie offer up?
I'm so excited.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from Royal Leamington Spa. What's this? Looks like a red-hot deal is going down with David Ford.
Pot. Dalton, probably, yes?
Yes.
And I suppose we'd call it flambe. It's probably marked on its bottom. And it looks to me as though it's absolutely perfect.
Yep.
What's the scene? There's a castle, I see. A bridge. Some little figures here by a boat with lobster pots. And then we're back to the castle. It's very nice, isn't it? We'll just tip it up and see that it's all nicely marked. Yes, there it is. Has the Royal Dalton back stamp and flambe and the pattern number.
Yep.
So it's sort of 1930s, I would think. Do you agree with that?
Around that area.
Alan, what's the story? I mean, do you collect Dalton or
my grandparents collected flambe.
Grandparents?
Yeah, my granddad used to go out to fairs and shows and come back with pieces and just pop them in the lounge, and my nan never knew about them, and every now and then she'd find a new piece in there.
Oh, so, right, he was quite a serious collector.
Yeah.
Did he end up with a lot?
Yeah, there was quite a few items, yeah.
How do you fit into all this? I mean, you're now selling some of these things.
Yeah, my nan's looking at downsizing and doing a bit of home improvements, so we're looking at getting rid of a few items and...
Use the money?
Use the money and fit a downstairs shower room.
I mean, this Royal Doulton flambe is, I think, wonderful. I think it's hugely attractive. However, the prices are not as strong as they were a few years ago.
Okay.
But nevertheless, it's lovely and it's perfect. And there must be somebody out there that's going to love that. Let's try and buy it from you.
Okay.
Do you want a lot for it?
I do, yes.
More than that, obviously.
A lot more than that.
More than that?
Yep.
More than that? That's 150?
Still more than that.
More than that?
Yep.
Well, it's 200. Is that...
Nowhere near.
Nowhere near?
Nowhere near.
You don't really mean that, do you?
I do.
I'm somewhere near now, aren't I?
Nowhere near.
It's £250.
Still nowhere near.
Nowhere near?
Nowhere near.
I don't think it's a bad offer. £300, Alan. Here's David. He's going to tell me I'm being mean, probably, but I don't think I am.
250 to 350 is what the professionals say. There's 300 smack in the middle. It's big, it's glamorous, Doulton flambe. I'm going to say the offer is fairly sound. I think our dealer's offering a price he can sell and make a profit on. It's the equivalent of 350 in the auction. What you've got to say to yourself is, can I get more than £350 to make it worth my while? Dealing at the right money is where the success will be.
Very poignant.
Yep.
I've offered you, I think, quite a good price for this £300 because I can't, to use a strange word, the functionality of this is limited. Alan, I'm going to stick at 300. I think it's a bid that hopefully enables me to make a profit, which is what I try and do.
Yep.
Don't always succeed, but that's the idea. I'm going to stick at that, and so the decision is yours, really.
Okay.
Take the money or have a gamble.
I'm going to go to auction.
I mean, if I tempted you with another 20 quid, would that change your...
No, it wouldn't change.
I'll put it on the table just in case you change your mind.
No, I'm still going to go to auction.
OK, good luck. Hope you do well, Alan.
It went really well. Looking for a bit more, 350, 400. So hopefully when we go to auction, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
But I've got a gut feeling that I could have paid more, because I just feel at auction that it's going to do somewhat better than my bid.
With David's gut feeling and Alan's steely determination, will the vase make more under the hammer?
You're selling it on behalf of your nan?
Yes.
OK, so what's she doing? Getting rid of a bit of stuff, downsizing?
Yeah, that's it.
And she sent you along, the grandson, to look after her interests. What's she called? Your
Wendy.
Wendy? He's a nice lad, and he's looking after your interests. Now, on the day, you turned down a fairly bold offer of 320 quid. Yep. It's here in the sale room. Are you confident? The reserve is only 250, so fingers crossed.
The flambe bolster vase then, decorated with the cattle and the landscape. Telephone is up with it. I have a lot of interest. I can tell you I'm in at 240, straight in.
Straight in at 240. That's good. Reserve 250.
260, sir. At 240, 240, 240. You're out now, 240, 260. 260 then.
260. Slow down a bit.
260 at 260. All in 260. Sold then at 260.
Gavel's gone down at £260. A little bit of a disappointment here because you turned down 320 in cash. You're going home with £221. What have you got to say?
I don't know. It's a bit disheartening, but...
You gamble on the day. Sometimes the buyers are here, sometimes they're not. It's the way it goes, isn't it?
It's the way it goes.
Oh, chin up, Alan. You win some, you lose some. Better luck next time. Back to the wheeling and dealing with our Debbie.
Tell me about this box that you brought in.
It belonged to my grandmother and possibly her mother.
Right.
Dating back 1900.
Uh-huh. So you remember it, it's been in the family as far as you're concerned all your life?
It has, yeah.
And why are you getting rid of it?
It's just been lying in the cupboard, basically.
Gathering
My mother
dust.
had it in the cupboard.
It's beautiful.
It is.
It's lovely, and it's walnut. And what's lovely too is it hasn't been messed around with, because the temptation to over-polish this metalwork that's on it is enormous, and very often people can go a bit mad, and I love the fact it's probably been untouched since the turn of the last century. Look at that. It's got its original blue satin lining. It's got 4 little bottles, each with a stopper. And I have had a little look at them, and they are slightly nibbled, but you know, it's not going to detract at all from their value. And I love it. I really love it. It's the most exciting thing I've seen all day.
Oh, lovely.
I believe that it's probably, rather than for liqueur or drink related, I think it's probably a cologne travelling set. It's got a little key that I presume will fit in the lock. And lovely to have that too. I mean, that's just another added bonus. And I just can't believe that you want to sell it, but I'm delighted that you do. Thanks, Diane. So I'm going to make you an offer. I shouldn't get so enthusiastic about these things. I should play it cool, but here we go. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 180. How does that sound?
Could we go a little bit more?
How much more are you thinking?
A little more.
Just a little bit. If I put another 20 down, make it 200, how would you feel about that? Have we got a deal?
We have a deal.
Oh, fantastic. I'm so excited. 200. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Very happy that she's had my travelling perfume decanter, if you like, and I'm pleased with the deal.
Diane's over the moon, and it seems like Debbie's paid over the odds. Coming up, the Duke gives our David a wake-up call.
I've known him for over 30 years.
That's true. That's
He's
true.
not a bad buyer, but you've got to give him a bit of a push. Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from Royal Leamington Spa.
Hello, David.
As another day draws to a close, Jerry looks glad to be taking the weight off his feet after carting in this next item. David and auctioneer Richard Winterton are fascinated by his jardiniere and stand.
It's a beautiful piece. It's had pride of place in my living room for the last 20 years.
Yes, and what do you have in here? An aspidestra?
A big one,
Yeah, you need a big one in here. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's quite magnificent, and it's got all the features you want. Wonderful swags here, and a Roman head here, and the lions, and it's made by Wedgwood.
Wedgwood, yeah.
What a better name, eh? Marvellous, isn't it? Well, is this something you've had a long time, Jerry?
20 years.
20 years?
Yeah.
Why do you want to sell it?
I'm sort of planning on moving abroad and visiting my brother in Brazil.
Oh, really?
And I can't take it with me.
No, not really, no. It's got a few little problems, not much, a little chip there and one here, and when you think, though, it's probably made in about 1870, so it's survived quite well, hasn't it?
Well, Richard, it's a long time since I've seen a good, chunky, glamorous, OTT perhaps, jardiniere and stand. It's a big lot.
It is, David. It's nice to be marked, Wedgwood mark on the bottom, which is good because you don't usually see that. Now, 8-10 years ago, it would have been all the rage, it would have been all dancing and jumping. Now, you know, the colours are not really in at the moment.
This is definitely out of fashion. That doesn't mean it's not viable, though. I'm going to say 500 to 700 is the independence.
Yeah, there'll certainly be a client for it, definitely. Could be our friend here today who wants it.
I think he'll want to buy this. There's a twinkle in his eye. I saw him looking at it. He likes it. Let's see what David puts on the table.
How much would you like for it, Jerry?
Oh, I don't know. It's, I hope you've got plenty of 50s.
It's in the hundreds, isn't it? 2, 3, 4, 5. What about £250?
250? Is he taking the Michael? I've got to get in there and stop this before we go any further. Is he playing with you, Jerry?
I think he is.
Opening.
Did he say 250? That was for
this bit.
Half of the pot.
I think it might get the leg.
This is a Bobby Dazzler. It's a great visual lot. Tell me what you paid for this and how many years ago?
20 years ago, I paid £1,000.
20 years ago, 1,000 quid. Now, that doesn't surprise me because I was around dealing 20 years ago And these kind of articles made a statement and were making good money. The market's changed. Prices have dropped dramatically. The estimate of 5 to 750, I think, is conservative. Where would you go into a retail environment and buy something as big, as showy as this for 700 quid? You'd have no chance. So I'm going to say, think 500 plus. If not, we go to the auction. Ladies that lunch, that's what we want. Ladies that want to glamorise that lovely conservatory on a new house. That's what we're looking for.
Well, we only just started, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I'm going to get some more down here. 300, 350, 400 pounds. Does that sound any better, Jerry?
Well,
cash.
We're not there yet. Yeah.
The problem with these things, as much as I love this, these things aren't in fashion. There's always somebody looking for one, though, isn't there?
There's always someone looking for one, yeah.
450, 500 pounds I'd give for this, Jerry.
You see, he's starting to wake up, Jerry, isn't he? He's starting to wake up. I've known him for over 30 years.
That's true. That's
He's
true.
not a bad buyer, but you've got to give him a bit of a push. Not a bad price, 500. The question is, can we do better in the sale room? Tempt him with a little bit more money, or if you want to gamble, you can do.
All right.
Jerry, I do like a good lot. You know, you've brought something that's tickled my fancy here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm going to give, 520, and that is, I've got to say, that's me done.
Put another 50 on there, and then you got yourself a deal.
This sounds mean. That's another 10. It's 530, and I've done.
Oh, we're going to be here all day.
I'm going to be hard today. I don't want to give any more than this, Jerry. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not offended if you want to go to auction.
Well, I don't want to really cart it back home. It's too big, so I think you got yourself a deal.
Thank you, Jerry. Thanks for ringing on.
you.
It's great.
I think it's a good bid. I think all round they should be happy. Yeah.
OK. The seller says, I paid 1,000 quid for that 20 years ago. We say, well, that's the market. It finds its level, and today, the big Jardinieren stand has found its current level.
I gave £530 for it. 10 years ago, I would have given probably double that for it.
You've got to face facts, you know, when the market changes, you know. You get the winners and the losers, but I've had great pleasure over the last 20 years with it, and hopefully it will go into a good home, and I'm sure it will do, and someone else will get the pleasure of it.
And with that deal sealed, there's been over £2,000 on the table today. Have our dealers been able to turn a profit? Let's find out. Our Jan had a good day today.
I think it's a very nice example, and they do make a great cuppa.
She forked out £200 for the silver water pot and turned it around for a nice little earner. Jan also came out smelling of roses with the scent bottle.
It's a beautifully cut bottle. I would like to have a go at buying it.
She passed it on to another dealer for £130. It was just the one deal for Mr. Ford today.
I quite like it. It's quite a nice one.
Unfortunately for David, there's not been a single buyer on the horizon for the telescope. Debbie only bought one thing today too.
I really love it. It's the most exciting thing I've seen all day.
Oh, lovely.
She loved the travelling case so much she kept it for herself. Finally, we come to David Hakeney.
Very unusual lot. I'll give you a ring if I can't sell them, you can buy them back.
OK, fine. That's OK.
Luckily for David, he never had to make that call. He just about managed to squeeze out a profit by selling it on to a fellow dealer. You had a close call there, Mr. H. As for the Jardiniere...
I do like a good lot. You know, you've brought something that's tickled my fancy here.
David hasn't sold it yet, but he's not too concerned it's taking pride of place in his antique centre. A fairly average day then for our dealers, but seller Terry showed them a thing or two.
£1. Cheap as chips.
A £169 profit.
Sold then.
Good on you, Terry.
We've had a great day here. There's been lots of action, lots of fun, lots of buying, lots of selling. That's what I like to see. That's what the show is all about. Don't forget to join me, David Dickinson, next time for Dickinson's Real Deal. See you.